I'm Bryant Cook, and today we're playing a card so good people want it banned out of Modern. I'm talking about the One Ring, and we're playing it in the best possible shell alongside Twiddle and Lotus Field. Let's go look at the deck list. If you don't know what the One Ring does, you've probably been living underneath a rock, but I'll tell you anyway. So this is a 4-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you gain protection from literally everything. Okay, everything. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. Tap the One Ring, add a burden counter onto it, draw a card. The life loss, the card draw, not tied together. So what we're going to do is we're going to untap the One Ring so many times, and we're going to use Twiddle to do that alongside Hidden Strings, Vizier of the Tumbling Sands, and Dream's Grip. How do we make mana? Well, we're playing a single copy of Lotus Field in our deck. 1. That's it. That's all we need. 1. We're going to find that Lotus Field using Abundant Harvest alongside Recross the Paths, which can also stack our deck, so that way we never, ever fizzle using the One Ring. And then eventually, after we've drawn our entire deck, we're going to win with Thassa's Oracle. That's it. The Thassa's Oracle doesn't care about our opponent's One Rings either. You win the game. It doesn't matter if your opponent has protection. That's what we're going to do. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw and we're going to keep. We have the One Ring in our hand. And one thing that I didn't mention in the deck tech is that all of our lands except for the one Lotus Field are these multi-facing card whatever, MDFCs. That's what people know them as. So that means that Abundant Harvest 100% of the time finds Lotus Field. Same thing with Recross the Paths. So with this hand, we have the most important card in our deck. We have the One Ring. Now we need to find the singleton copy of Lotus Field. Our opponent plays a Sacred Foundry into Ornithopter, and then they destroy it with Gleeful. We draw for turn. We draw Sleight of Hand. Okay, we're going to play the Jawari Disruption past the turn. Voldaren Epicure. Okay. Ouch, we're taking 3. Draw for turn. Slendy Vision. Let's play the Sleight of Hand. Alright, so untap green source versus Hidden Strings. I think I'll take the Hidden Strings. I don't feel strongly about that. But I do think that we have a lot of lands already. Venerated Loxodon. Okay, so they're just playing the Pioneer deck in Modern. So this is 4, 8, 14. I'm at 16. I could be dead next turn. Wow. I'm going to start by playing this Manamorphose. We'll do blue-green. And I'm still doing a green in case I draw into Abundant Harvest. And I did not. Serum Visions. There's the Harvest. Okay. We'll play the Harvest. We'll say land. Go grab our Lotus Field. Now we need to hope to be able to untap. Our opponent has 12 power on the battlefield. We're at 16, so they need 4 more damage. For a red deck, that's not a lot. They're going to combat. Ouch. A Voldaren Epicure that will put me to 3. They're passing the turn. That's a good sign. We drew another copy of the One Ring. Okay, so what to do? I think we should start by cycling the Vizier. Untap our Lotus Field, we'll draw a card, Serum Visions. So now we have 4 mana, but we really want 6. That's the number we want, because you want to untap One Ring and Hidden String, or I'm sorry, One Ring and the Lotus Field using Hidden Strings. So the One Ring enters, we gain protection from literally everything. We'll draw a card. Hidden Strings, untap, untap. Yes, yes, no. How about we draw 2 this time? Oh, another Hidden Strings. How perfect. Untap, untap. Yes, yes, no. I'll draw 3 cards. No big deal. Just 6 cards off the One Ring before I even lost 1 life. Alright. let's go up to 4 mana. I will Vizier, untap the One Ring. How about I draw 4 cards this time? Twiddle, untap the One Ring. 5 cards. Now we need to untap the Lotus Field. Fortunately for us, we drew another hidden string, so we get to untap Lotus Field and the One Ring. Draw 6 cards. We have 22 cards left in our deck. Untap the One Ring. So at this point, we're just drawing 2 Thassa's Oracle. Draw 7. Untap the One Ring. Draw 8. Alright, so we're at the stage of the game where I need to play Thassa's Oracle in order to win. Untap, untap. I am not actually allowed to draw any more cards with the One Ring. I would actually deck myself. We don't want to do that. Protection from everything doesn't stop things like losing the game. So we don't want to do that, but instead we can clear our deck a number of other ways. We have a bunch of cantrips, we have Manamorphose. It's not going to be an issue. Cycle a Vizier. This will bring us down to 6 cards left in deck. Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand. Cast a Serum Visions. Tap the Lotus Field. And let's make some more mana. Tap for green. Play a Manamorphose. Play blue-green. When I have 2 cards left in deck, and I can just play the Oracle. And the Oracle has Devotion of 2. We'll click a random card. It doesn't matter. All right, and that is game number 1. We have won using the One Ring. Never lost a single point of life. Meanwhile, it drew our entire deck. This is what I was talking about in the deck tech. This is the best One Ring deck in the format. Let's win game number 2. Not really sure. Like, our opponent has an artifact sub-theme, so we could bring in Force of Vigors. That's a choice we can make. We could also just leave our deck the way it is. So they are a red deck. They could have Blood Moon as well. So I think we want some number of Force of Vigor. I'm going to shave 2 copies of Recross the Paths and 1 Manamorphose. I know that they're green cards which exile to this Force of Vigor, but I also don't want to lose any consistency within our deck. Being consistent is so huge. Okay, so we have a ton of green cards. We have Force of Vigor. Eventually we can Recross the Paths for our Lotus Field. My only concern is that this is a little bit of a slow hand. We should mulligan it. No mana. We're going to 5. Honestly, this is better than what our 7 was, so we'll keep this. Bottom the Balaged and one of these extra lands. Okay. Turn 1 Inspiring Vantage. Voldaren Epicure. We go to 19. Another Turn Timber. I'm actually not going to deal myself 3 damage here. With our current hand, I don't see myself casting any spells on turn 2 that aren't the Abundant Harvest. So we can just play our land tapped, we can play the Harvest and just pass. Our opponent plays a Kadoltha Rebirth. It looks like they're convoking on turn 2 into a Halo Hopper. Lethal Demolition. Ouch. That's a lot of 1/1s. Best start. The One Ring. That was a good one. Okay, so we need to be able to untap. But we're looking like we're in decent shape here. So let's go grab our Lotus Field. They have 7 power in play. We're at 18. Land number 3. Bushwhacker. Uh-oh. How much damage is that? I believe it's 16. So this would put me to 2. I am in fact at 2. Alright, so we're going to make 2 mana. We'll play Lotus Field. Sacrifice our 2 lands. We'll use Vizier. Untap the Lotus Field. Draw a card. So no matter what, I need to cycle this so that way I can play the One Ring. Draw. Okay, so I'm going to just play the One Ring. We gain protection from everything until our next turn. So we're going to pass and attempt to win on our following turn. The One Ring will put me to 1 in our turn, in our upkeep. So we need them to not have any instant speed damage out of the red deck. Fortunately for us, our opponent is playing a red deck that is based on creatures, so there's a chance that they don't have a burn spell. Looks like they have a Convoke creature. They attack, but I have protection from everything. The One Ring, so we will go to 1 life, and now it's party time. So we will tap, and then we will untap the Lotus Field, not the One Ring. And then we're going to tap for 3 green, and I'm going to cast Recross the Paths, and I get to stack my entire deck here. So hidden strings are what we want the most. We have now selected all of our hidden strings. From there, you want Twiddle effects. So Dream's Grip, that's a prominent one. and then you have actual Twiddle, and then Vizier of the Tumbling Sands. And at this point, you can just click your Thassa's Oracle. Any order for the rest. I'm sorry. I believe I'm losing my voice. Forgive me. So I actually did this wrong. You're supposed to stack a 7-drop like Turn Timber Symbiosis on top of your deck, so that way you get Recross the Paths back. I didn't do that here, but it's what you're supposed to do. We will draw 2. Surprise, surprise. Alright, Hidden Strings again. At 1 life, we're going to win with the 1 ring with our 1 Lotus Field. Gotta love it. Untap, untap. Magic is just such a beautiful game sometimes. Draw 6. We've played all 4 of our Hidden Strings at this point. We'll draw 7 using the 1 ring. And we win the match. Our opponent had enough. 1-0 with the 1 ring, 1 Lotus Field combo. Alright, I have a feeling we're going to get 4 more matches. Stick around and find out. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Welcome to match number 2. We're on the draw. We have a Recross the Paths to find our Lotus Field. We don't have access to the 1 ring. I don't love this hand, but I'm going to keep it. Basically, I think that this hand is a little bit slow, and we could get kind of punished from an extremely fast start from our opponent. Turn 1 Marsh Flats into Blood Crypt. So they're likely on Rakdos Scam. Our sideboard copies of Leyline of Sanctity are going to be huge in this matchup. There's the grief. That's trouble. I'm glad I didn't hyper-aggressively mulligan against the Grief deck. And then they play an Undying Malice, so the Grief comes back, and now they're discarding another card. Okay, they took an untap land. We already had 2 lands in our hand anyway, so I'm actually okay with that. Play the Balaged Recovery, we'll pass the turn. So our hope now is that our opponent has 4 cards in hand, that they might not have a stellar follow-up after the Grief. That's ideally what would happen, so that way we can have some time to recover ourselves. A Fury Pitching Season Pyromancer. So they must have another Undying Malice effect, maybe Feign Death, there's a bunch of them. And they have a very aggressive start, so it looks like, and it is in fact Feign Death. So next turn they're attacking for 12. I'm not going to have a whole lot of time here. Alright, played the Balaged Recovery. We would need 2 perfect draws in order to win this game, I think. What a start. This, in fact, might be the best Rakdos Scam start I've ever seen. We're at 4. A 3rd Grief? Oh my! Wow. Just when you think it can't get any worse. Yeah, alright, that's going to seal the deal. They're going to take our Manamorphose. So how we possibly could have won this game is between our draw step and the draw of Manamorphose. We could have drawn the Lotus Field and the 1 ring. That was pretty much it. But with them taking Manamorphose, that's not going to be possible anymore. Yeah, we're just dead. What a start. Holy moly. Okay. So we definitely want Leyline of Sanctity. And it looks like these deck lists, according to MTG Goldfish, sometimes play Blood Moon. So I'm wondering if we're supposed to be bringing in Force of Vigor as well. It's a lot of cards to come in. I don't really like Serum Visions all that much against the Ragavan deck, so we could probably get rid of those. And then shave 1 copy of Recross the Paths and 1 Manamorph. Let's try this out. I would like to be on the play, thank you. Alright, no Leyline, but I'm going to keep this. We have turn 1 Abundant Harvest to go search out our Lotus Field, and honestly, that's a good enough start to make it worth keeping. Ouch. We'll go to 17, Lightning Bolting ourselves, Abundant Harvest. Land. Gasp. It's a Lotus Field. Our opponent plays Blood Crypt into Ragavan Nimble Pilfer. Okay. Grief, exiling Fatal Push. So this time they don't have a Feign Death, but they do get to discard our 2nd land, which is really unfortunate for us. So now we need to draw a land. They do in fact take our second land, so we need a good top deck here. We have 17 other lands in our deck, so 17 out of 52. We missed. We have to pass. Ragavan gets in there, and they hit a one ring. Wow. Draw for turn. It's a land. Okay. I mean, it's a tap land, but it's still a land. Play it and pass. Orcish Bowmasters. We can beat that using the one ring. I'm not overly concerned with that. They're going to combat. We'll take 4. We go down to 10 life. They hit a Hidden Strings. So we only have 3 copies of the One Ring in our deck, so we do need to find one. They hardcast a Grief. This is brutal. Alright, so that means next turn they have 7 damage coming in too. Wow. They take our Vizier of the Tumbling Sands. We drew another. Alright, sleight of hand. So, just to make sure. 2, 3, 4, 7. Vizier would bring us to 1. Alright. We have to get lucky. Pass the turn. I'm going to go to 3 life. I'm dead to Lightning Bolt. Can't do anything about it. Another Orcish Bowmasters. So this is going to grow and put me to 1. So now I can't even use my Viziers anymore. That was huge for them. And they have a Thoughtseize. Wow. Alright, they got me. Let's see if, even with some good fortune, if we could have gotten there. So we would have drawn off Vizier, and then Manamorphose, Sleight of Hand. Alright, we weren't going to get there anyway, even if our opponent didn't have Thoughtseize into second Bowmasters. Wow. Alright, our opponent had some decent draws. Sometimes you lose. That's a part of playing Magic the Gathering. Let's not sweat it. We're just going to keep winning, and I'll see you in the third match. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3. We're on the draw and our hand is stellar. Keep. This hand is so good. Verdant Catacombs. Oh no. Rakdos scam again? There's the monkey. Sleight of hand is the draw. We'll lose 3 life. Player Abundant Harvest. We'll say Lotus Field. And by Lotus Field, I mean land. Pass. Another Verdant Catacombs. We'll take 2. We go to 15. They'll get a treasure. They hit Sleight of Hand. Not only did Ragavan give them my cantrip, it also gave them the blue mana to cast it. It's not right. It's not right. Grief, exiling Fatal Push. So once again, our opponent can take my second land. It is the downside of playing these Abundant Harvest based builds. They indeed took my land, and now they'll Undying Malice or Feign Death. That's actually what they had. And they took the harvest. So I'm in a position where we have 6... How many? 17 other lands in our deck? Let's draw one. Alright, so I know it's not... Like, I can't Manamorphose this turn, but still, I'll take drawing a land there. That was pretty good. Untapped land number 3. They attack for 6. I'll go to 9. They hit my One Ring. Come on, Ragavan, what are you doing to me? Our opponent instead plays a Dothy Voidwalker. They could have had my One Ring, but this does represent lethal, so I need to find a way to stay alive right now. So we'll start off by making green into Manamorphose. Blue. Okay, so I have 2 looks here. 2 looks, and in those 2 looks I need to find the One Ring. That is realistically how we win this game. Draw a card. Recross the Paths isn't terrible, but it's also just not good enough here. Okay, so we will untap our Lotus Field. Draw. Manamorphose. There isn't a recross pile that wins with 1 mana floating. It just doesn't exist. Stern Visions. Drew a land that doesn't really help us here. think we're just dead. Manamorphose. Blue. Yeah, I can't think of a card that would keep us in the game at this point. Vizier. Cycle Vizier. Even if I drew the One Ring now, I can't play it. And there it is. So, I guess we can let our opponent attack us for lethal or whatever. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. We're definitely dead. We can go to game 2. Bring in our copies of Leyline. I think I'm going to try something a little bit different this match. I'm not going to board in the Force of Vigors. Yes, their deck has Blood Moon, and we're cold to it. I'm aware, but I think we're actually making our deck worse by boarding in Force of Vigor, and it just being a dead card. So I'm going to choose to try to dodge rather than try to answer. Game 2, we're on the play. Yeah, keep. So we have the One Ring, we have Leyline of Sanctity, we have an untapped land, and a cantrip. So first priority will be finding land number 2, and then it'll be finding Lotus Field. All right, Leyline onto the battlefield. Play our untapped land, we'll lose 3 life. Sleight of hand. Okay, so we found Abundant Harvest, which isn't bad, because now if we find a green land, we have our Lotus Field. That was actually a pretty good turn 1 for us. Marsh Flats into Blood Crypt. Turn 1 Monkey. We draw for turn. These Serum Visions. I'm going to choose to play the Sleight of Hand, hoping that I just find our green source for this Abundant Harvest. No such luck. Brutal. Abundant Harvest is probably better than a second copy of the One Ring. Verdant Catacombs for a basic swamp. It has me a little bit nervous about Blood Moon, but I chose to lose the Blood Moon when we sideboarded, so if they have it, they have it. Womp womp. My deck is not capable of beating Blood Moon. Okay. Unfortunate. I made a poor choice in sideboarding, I guess. We are now 1-2. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Alright, match number 4, we're on the draw. Keep. I know that losing to Rakdos Scam Choice wasn't ideal, but we're going to try to get this match as well. Our opponent leads off with a Verdant Catacombs. No way! It can't be Rakdos for a 3rd time in a row. Oh, come on. Come on. This is brutal. With the first Grief, they discard Manamorphose, then they feign death, and now Grief is coming back. Let's see what they select this time. They took Hidden Strings. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so we will Lightning Bolt ourselves here. This basically just guarantees the Abundant Harvest. If they had a Thoughtseize or something that they were planning on taking with this. Alright, we'll pass the turn. They attack with Grief. We'll drop down to 13 life. Another Recross. We'll play the Jawarian Pass. The opponent draws, attacks with Grief, will fall to 9 life. Alright, no follow-up so far. So this is an interesting spot. I could hold open the Disruption and play a tap land here. I think that's actually probably the move. And then next turn I can recross the paths and play Lotus Field. They bolt me, I'm going to counterspell this. Boom! I have interaction too. They have found land number 2. Thassa. Okay. Discard a Recross the Paths. And they attack. We'll fall to 5 life. Serum Visions. Play Recross. So you're supposed to put a Turn Timber. And then the card you actually want to draw is supposed to be underneath that, which would be the One Ring. And then from there, we can just set up a bunch of Twiddles. Alright, so we've clicked all of our Dream Scripts, all of our strings, and now you can do Vizier of the Tumbling Sands and then Twiddle itself. But I guess we'll put Oracle in the middle, and the rest can be random. We won the clash. Their top card is Lightning Bolt. We're dead. We are dead to the top of their deck. Ah, that's so frustrating. Play the Lotus Field, and then we're dead. They attack. We go to 1. That'll do. So we have lost game number 1 versus Rakdos Scam again. Okay, so I learned my lesson in match number 3 about not bringing in Force of Vigor. We'll do that here. All right, Serum Visions can go out. And then 2 copies of Recross. I think I'd rather have Manamorphose. I'm still learning a little bit how to sideboard with this deck. Every match I've sideboarded a little bit differently. Game 2. Unfortunately, no. Okay, so we have the One Ring and Leyline and Abundant Harvest. This hand is pretty darn good. We will get rid of the extra land. Leyline enters the battlefield. And no need to bolt ourselves here. We're not doing anything on turn 2, so we can just play it tapped. Let's try to save some life. Okay, and they're going for the turn 1 Fury play. Fury kills us very quickly. Okay. So they're getting a 4/4 double strike. That is pretty darn scary. Draw. That was a huge hit. Holy moly, that was such a good draw. So we should be able to put the One Ring on the battlefield next turn. Land. Pass. They attack, we end up taking 8. Gothy Voidwalker. Alright, so we'll float mana. Play the Lotus Field. So I could take 11 here and go to 1. But then I can't. It makes the One Ring just worse. So I think I'm going to attempt to play the One Ring this turn. Draw. We'll untap our Leyline. Yes. Yes. No. I now have a tapped enchantment. Perfect. Play the One Ring. We now have protection from everything until our next turn. Draw card. Okay, so we should have a pretty easy win on our following turn. They have land number 3. And they choose not to attack with the Voidwalker. I guess I have One Ring protection, so that makes sense. We lose 1 life to our ring. The Ring of Power. Draw. Alright, so we're going to play this land untapped. We go to 8 life. We can now cast Recross the Paths. We don't have any lands in our entire deck, so we're allowed to stack our deck here. And once again, you're supposed to put one of the expensive cards on top. And then a bunch of Twiddles. So we'll do Twiddle itself, Hidden Strings, Twiddle, Hidden Strings, Twiddle, 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 Twiddle. Accidentally click a One Ring. You get the idea. I'll quit narrating this. Alright, so we have won the clash. We will put the expensive card on the bottom of our deck. We will now draw 2 cards. They're going to activate Gothy Voidwalker for... What am I missing here? A Seagate? Is that it? Twiddle our Lotus Field. And now we will Hidden Strings on the Lotus Field and the One Ring. Draw 3 cards. Hidden Strings again. Draw 4. Untap, untap. You can clearly see that I misclicked a few times because there's like a random turn timber in here and an extra One Ring. Let's draw 5 cards. Untap the ring. The Ring of Power. Certainly very powerful here. If you're unfamiliar with this archetype, before the One Ring it played Ideas Unbound and a bunch of other arcane spells, and the One Ring is just such a major upgrade. Untap the ring. Draw 8. Untap the ring. We'll draw 9, leaving 4 cards in our deck. Cycle of Vizier, untapping Lotus Field. At this point, we just need to draw through our deck and then, you know, play the Oracle. Vizier number 3 will untap the Lotus Field. We can use a sleight of hand now, which would get the last card in our deck. And now we just cast the Oracle. Easy peasy. Thassa's Oracle triggers, and that will be game number 2. Okay. Resubmit. Let's go get the 3rd game and not lose to Rakdos scam a 3rd time this league. Ay, ay, ay. I checked Goldfish in between at one point during that game, and Rakdos scam is the 6th most popular deck, according to MTG Goldfish. Meanwhile, we faced it 3 times this league. When I built my sideboard, I built it for a wide open meta. I did include 3 copies of Leyline of Sanctity in there, but I also put in 3 Leyline of the Void for Living End. I put in Pact of Negations for Is It Murktide, stuff like that. If I knew that I was going to face Rakdos scam 3 times, you better believe that I'd have Veil of Summer and Leyline of Sanctity in my sideboard. But unfortunately, we don't know that when we queue into a league, and we just need to make the best of it. So let's try to win game number 3. It's game 3. They have kept 7 cards, which usually means a turn 1 grief. Here we have the One Ring, and we have a couple lands, but I wonder if this is actually good enough. We have no way to get Lotus Field, and no Leyline. I think I'm going to mulligan. Alright, at least this hand gives me the option of finding Lotus Field. I'll keep this. We can put a Seagate on the bottom. Turn 1 Bloodstained Mire. Uh-oh, they're going for the turn 1 Fury play. They exile a Blood Moon. I don't know if I can beat a turn 1 Fury on the play. It's just so fast. Yeah, I'm not sure if we can. This is not good. So, here's the thing. This brings me to 16. I could play this tapped, next turn play this tapped, and then go get my Lotus Field. Alright, we'll play it tapped. I don't know what the right move actually is here. Alright, so you have turn 1 8 power plus turn 2 Thoughtseize. Yikes. I think we need a miracle at this point. Also, like, I've been under the impression, and this just dawned on me right now, that you're not supposed to board in Leyline of the Void against this deck, but this league, the entire time, they've been playing the turn 1 Feign Death package. Like, are you supposed to board in Leyline of the Void? It's a question that I have. I don't know the answer. So I guess we're going to go to 1 here, because I don't know what else we're going to do. And let's Sleight of Hand. Neither of these actually help me. I guess we'll take the Dream's Grip. So I guess our plan now is that we're going to go to 1 and then just like try to always tap down the Fury and hope that they never have Lightning Bolt or a Ragavan or any other creature. Okay, we're going to 1. Too easy. They crushed me. Alright, that was unfortunate. 1 and 3, can't beat Rakdos Scam. Let's try to win match number 5. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting your own Magic events with features such as easy-to-create event registration for 4-player and one-on-one Swiss-based games. Event management has never been so simple, and it's done on the web, no downloads are required. You can sign up for $5 by visiting eminence.events/subscribe. Alright, time for the 5th and final match. Can we not face Rakdos Scam? That is the question. Alright, so we have lands, but no way to find Lotus Field in the One Ring. Let's mulligan. We have the ring. We have a cantrip to help find Lotus Field. I think I'm in. We'll keep and get rid of the hidden string. Or should it be the Manamorphose? Maybe it's the Morphos here. Ouch. We'll go to 17 life. Lightning Bolt ourselves and cast Serum Vision. Well, there's a ring, but we don't need that. And a green land. Big fan. Pass. No. It can't, okay, no turn 1 play. That's a good sign. Maybe they're not Rakdos Scam. Sleight of Hand. Another One Ring. Sure. Alright, so there's 2 One Rings on the bottom of our deck at the moment. No. Oh. I love Magic Online. It's truly the best. Yep, you got it. No turn 1 or turn 2 play, huh? That seems a little weird. Okay, they're playing a Torok. We find land 3. Let's Sleight of Hand here. We find the Abundant Harvest. That's huge. We'll play it. We'll say land. Go grab our Lotus Field. And I think we should be able to win the game next. We'll sacrifice our lands and pass. They have land number 3. Mox Amber. Alright, maybe it's not Rakdos Scam and it's just a Rakdos deck? Waste not. Okay, so this is just somebody's brew. Burning Inquiry. They discarded our One Ring. Ah. And we have 2 One Rings on the bottom of our deck. That hurts. Okay. They also have Shield Dread in their deck, which we can't beat. Our deck has no answer to Shield Dread. Draw. Hey, we found the 4th. Not bad. Alright. We will untap our Lotus Field to get some Waste Not triggers. We drew another One Ring. Okay. Did we shuffle at some point? Maybe the Abundant Harvest did it? That actually might have been it. That might have been the One Ring we put on the bottom? I'm not sure. So this brings us up to 5 mana, but we need 6 to go 1 ring into Hidden Strings. Another Hidden Strings. Okay, so I'm going to excuse me, Manamorphose here. See if we can draw into a Twiddle. Sleight of hand. I mean, a Twiddle off this I think still does it. We found it. And now we'll untap. And this does do it. Alright, so now we play the 1 ring. Protection from everything. Draw card. Hidden Strings. Draw 2 cards. Another Hidden Strings. We'll draw 3 cards. So I was 1 mana short there. Actually, I guess I could still do it. I could do it at any point, I guess. I could have done it last loop there. But we can recross the paths and just stack our deck at this point. And now it's impossible to fizzle. Grab the Hidden Strings. I'm not even going to worry about the winning the clash. Like, that just doesn't matter here. Okay, so we've selected all of our Twiddles and then Thassa's Oracle. The rest can be random. And we will now draw 4 cards. Hidden Strings. Draw 5. Twiddle on the 1 ring. Draw 6. Twiddle on the 1 ring. Draw 7. We are forced to untap our Lotus Field here. I mean, we could target 1 ring again, but I'd like to be able to win the game. And now we'll Twiddle on the 1 ring. This time it will draw 8. Alright, and that will leave us with 4 cards left in our library. We just have to clear those into Thassa's Oracle. Okay, so our Vizier will untap our Lotus Field. This brings us down to 2 cards left in deck. I can just play the Oracle here. Our opponent has 1 black open. So if they try to kill our Oracle in response, we can just Manamorphose. So this should get the job done. Trigger happens. Okay, so we've taken game number 1 over random Rakdos discard deck. I am worried about Shield Dread. Like, our deck just has absolutely 0 answers in it to Shield Dread. And as much as I love the 1 ring, and it does give you protection from everything, Shield Dread doesn't target you. Okay, so protection doesn't stop that. And it loses life, it's not damage. So the 1 ring doesn't stop that. So we actually have to win before our opponent can play Shield Dread. I'm going to board out 2 copies of Recross the Paths and a Manamorphose for our ley lines. I'm not sure if they're a Blood Moon deck or not, so I'm not going to board in Force of Vigor. Game number 2, we've opened up the Thassa's Oracle once again. We don't want that card in our hand. We do have a land of each color, which is sweet, but this isn't a particularly fast hand when we're trying to race the Shield Dread, so we're going to mulligan. This is multiple blue cantrips. I think that this one's probably okay. We'll keep this and get rid of Salundi Vision. I guess if I'm like truly terrified of Shield Dread, I can potentially just Jawari Disruption the Shield Dread. I'd have to find another at this point, but it's an option. Our opponent searches out a swamp. They play a Black Cleave Cliffs into Waste Not. Vizier, let's cast Sleight of Hand. Take the Disruption. I just don't want to lose to Shield Dread. And then we'll play Balagad Recovery. Pass. Land number 3. Okay, so they are choosing here to just pass with 3 lands up. That makes me pretty nervous. So instead of tapping that blue source, I'm just going to pass. Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. And a Lightning Bolt. We go to 16. And a Torok. So if they have the Shield Dread, they don't have the extra land. I think I'm kind of forced to play a Serum Visions here. Terrible draw. Alright, Visions. We hit the Lotus Field. Wow. Balagad can go on the bottom. So can the Manamorphose. I'm going to take 1 damage from the Orcish Bowmasters, and their Orc army gets even larger. Play the Lotus Field. Okay. Pass the turn. They found the 4th land. Yep, there's Shield Dread. I mean, I don't think I was going to win this game if I just held open the counterspell the entire game. They got me. We are unable to beat this card, so we will concede. Game 3. Resubmit. On the play, we have Abundant Harvest. We have a... Yeah, this hand's great. Keep. So in hindsight, let's say that you sign up for a league and you knew you were going to face 4 Rakdos decks. Once again, 4 Veil of Summer in your sideboard, 4 Leyline of Sanctity, not 3. Something that I'm truly interested in is, if you're watching this video, would you have boarded in Leyline of the Void versus Scam? It's not, like, I've never done it before, but with how the game's played out today, maybe you're supposed to, just so that way they can't cheap trick wins out of you. I don't know. Like, I'd have to test it more. I've never done it. Play the Harvest. Go grab our Lotus Field. Pass. Draw. You recross the paths. We'll play the Disruption. Pass the turn. So if we drew another Twiddle, I believe we have a turn 3 win. Draw. Is that... I don't think that does it. So we'll play Lotus Field. And now I can Twiddle. So I can now recross the paths, floating 1 blue, but I don't think that gets me deep enough into the deck. So I'll tap for blue here, Manamorphose. If I hit a Twiddle, I think that's enough. Looks like they have Bowmasters. Sure. Okay. Green, blue, Serum Vision. Recross the paths. I don't really care if I get this card back, so I'm going to choose to do... maybe I should keep it. I don't know. Alright, so we'll put one of the dumb green cards on the bottom. And then I plan on casting Sleight of Hand this turn, so I want another card I actually don't want to put on the bottom, which will be another Turn Timber, and then a Twiddle. Okay, so that's going to be the Sleight of Hand. And then the card that I draw for turn, I want to be the One Ring. And then when that activates, I want Twiddle, Twiddle, and then Hidden Strings. Okay, so assuming nothing terrible happens to me, this seems like it's going to work. And then Oracle can be in the middle, and then we'll do the rest as random. I've won the... Blood Moon is their top card. No way. Oh, come on. That's so disheartening. Oh, geez. Sleight of Hand. Keep the Twiddle. Pass the turn. And I didn't board in Force of Vigor. I didn't know that they had Blood Moons. That'll do it. Okay, so we beat every deck that wasn't Rakdos. You can't deny me that. We did it. We beat every deck that wasn't Rakdos. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Looking at the deck list, honestly, I don't think I would change anything. I mean, if you expected to go into another league, I think I would put in the 4th Leyline of Sanctity. I'd probably cut the 2 Leyline of the Voids, and I put in 2 Veil of Summer. Slaughter Pact didn't really come up today, but I think the last time that I really worked on this deck, Shield Dread didn't see a lot of play in this format. So I think you could change Slaughter Pact to probably like, what's the pitch blue card? Snapback? So like maybe you want Snapbacks because it also deals with Magus of the Moon. Basically, you want this to be a free spell that answers cards we care about, and Snapback does that. So I'd look at Snapback here, and then Veil of Summer's 4th Leyline of Sanctity. But also, this league was an anomaly. Like, Rakdos isn't that popular, yet we faced it 4 times. So that's my big takeaway. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I actually think this is the best One Ring deck in the format. We just got really, really, really weird matches. I would like to thank you for watching. Keep storming, and let me know how your adventures with the One Ring go. Hey, Bryant Cook. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's no better way to support our channel. If you're interested in elevating your combo game, visit theepicstorm.com/tutoring for details about our coaching sessions. Don't worry, there's more great combo content coming right up.